Good afternoon. My name is Alena Shautsova. I'm an immigration attorney from Brooklyn, New York. In today's video, I would like to tell you about my predictions in United States immigration for the year 2020. What I believe may or may not happen. Well, first of all, I believe what's going to happen that it's going to become more expensive to file for various immigration benefits in the United States, and it will be harder to receive a fee waiver, fees for various filings. Why do I believe that? Well, it is because USCIS already announced that the forms are going to become very expensive, even though initially they stated that the increase is going to be only about 20% on average. But the most popular forms, after they published the rule, we can see that the most popular forms are going to go up in fees significantly. I believe that I-45 they propose to be something around $1,700 if I'm not mistaken. So it will be more expensive and harder to receive a fee waiver, meaning many will not be able to afford to file the forms. So if you are eligible for something now, do not wait for that fee increase. Do it when you can to save some money. Second, it will be harder to become a citizen. Why? Because in 2018 and 19, there were policies put in place that signal to us that United States government will really look closely to all naturalization applications. For example, new policy about unlawful acts, a very flexible, so to say, ground to deny somebody's naturalization application, saying that the person lacks good moral character based not on a conviction but on an unlawful act. Perjury, even in a civil case, for example. Something that did not result in a conviction, but United States government, immigration authorities determined that you committed it. That's very interesting ground. So that another policy that's been slowly implemented is that now when you file for naturalization, the validity of previous decisions in your case are going to be revisited again. For example, you received your green card, but United States government overlooked that you needed a waiver. You received the green card, but prior filing showed that you entered the country on a K-1 visa. Things like that. Even though it was the United States government's mistake, you will be denied naturalization and potentially placed in removal proceedings. All right, so that's why I believe it will be more difficult to receive naturalization or citizenship in the United States. Asylum always has been not easy to receive, will be even harder to receive now. Popular grounds like family, it's very difficult to use now because of the recent rulings. Situation in the southern border where there is a remaining in Mexico protocol. Bar on asylum eligibility for those who traveled through a third country where they could request asylum, and filing fees for asylum application. They're thinking about imposing a filing fee on those who are seeking to get asylum. And right now I believe they're talking about $50. It's not high compared to other forms, but if you're not in the United States making money, it can be very, very high, right? If you were from a country where you couldn't make money, and especially if you had to run for your life and you just don't have money, it may present a serious issue. Public charge. Public charge rulings and public charge expansion as a bar to inadmissibility is going to grow, of course, because it's based on discretion. And if there is discretion, we always have to worry that when the times are hard, discretion can be used in a different direction, right? We've seen many denials already on public charge grounds for immigrant visas overseas. I believe we're going to see more denials in the United States. even though that this issue is being litigated, public charge issue, health insurance issue, things like that. And finally, of course, we should not forget the general trend about discretion. Everything is based on discretion, especially waivers, will be harder and harder to receive. Why? Because the administration is signaling that it would like to see a perfect immigrant in the United States. Somebody who is healthy, somebody who's not too old, somebody who can work a lot, somebody who doesn't have any issues, and that's a general trend. And when we request a waiver, it means we already have an issue, right? Otherwise we wouldn't need a waiver. So it doesn't mean that it will be impossible to receive a waiver grant, but you have to be prepared to have a very, very strong application, because I believe it will be harder. So these are my predictions for 2020. I hope they will not come true, and I am wrong, and I will provide you updates on this channel about what is going to happen. So stay with us, subscribe to our channel, and hopefully we're gonna see you regularly in 2020.